Hey everybody, so this is the wizardliz channel, as you can see, and I want to react to this video. I don't usually do this at all, and I never thought about reacting to anybody's video, but since I got that vision where I'm kind of reflecting on this video, I thought I should do this and I should record myself on YouTube. And I honestly don't really follow her, so like I never follow on Instagram, but I only subscribe to her because I have this habit of subscribing to videos where I don't really watch it very long. But I think I kind of watched one of her video a bit when she was first starting her YouTube channel, and obviously she has grown. And then there was this situation where she was in where this guy is actually her husband, but now I don't really think that they're really that close together anymore because allegedly he cheated. So I just want to make this video because I obviously watched this video all because of Instagram and threads, relation to that I opened my social media, and all it was talking about was this situation. And I saw it and I realized about Landon, which is the name of the husband in this video. It has so much me. It really made me kind of reflect back that he has so much red flags that kind of struck out to me. It's more of hey, this isn't right kind of thing. So let's just watch the video and maybe I can tell guys what I saw in him.
What's up, guys?
We're gonna do a Q&A.
Well, hey guys, some of you may know me from YouTube back in the day. I haven't done YouTube in the longest time, but hi. Before we get,
I think it is very appalling that he started to talk about himself, which he can do that, but I think it is a channel and I might be bitter about this, but I think, as you can see, he's going to explain more about himself, and I don't think it's actually really nice. Just in my opinion, it shouldn't be done this way.
before we get into questions, I actually want to say something. So, look, I don't think any relationship is 100% perfect. I think that a lot of YouTubers will come on and they'll do a Q&A about a relationship, and they're just gonna make it look like everything is rainbows and butterflies. At the end of the day, you get into relationships to grow, and a marriage, in my opinion, and I think we agree on this. Do you not want me to say that?
I want to say.
Yeah, first of all, he talks he's trying to tell a guy something, which is pretty fake to me, but I think maybe he's extroverted or something. But I just think he assumed that she agrees on what he's saying, and I think that's a power control that he's doing. So now, as you can see, Liz is trying to say hold up, what, I didn't agree to that or something. I feel that's where she's coming from.
Okay. A marriage is about.
Safe space.
This is a safe space. I think the purpose of.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she also respects what he has to say, but I think it is a bit off at this point already.
Life is creation and evolution. So you get together in a relationship with someone, you get married, you create together, you create success, a family, and then you evolve together. So honestly, for this Q&A, I don't want to I want to be real.
I wasn't planning on.
I want us to be real and just be okay, here's what it's like.
Channel, but I always just say whatever I feel.
Okay. You're so beautiful.
You can just.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much of him being very charming and saying you're so beautiful, and I think it's very a bit of an awkward tension that I feel between them, because I don't really feel any chemistry. To be I don't want to be mean, I think this is just my opinion, but the thing is it's he's leading it and she's just agreeing to it because she's letting him take the lead, and it's the same of what I said just now. It's a bit not really I feel the dynamics are not really in control here.
Just say whatever you want.
Hit that like button if you think Liz is just so beautiful.
Okay, don't do that. Please don't do that.
And then he says it again, and he's like telling us what to do to affirm her. It's kind of coming off as obsessive to me.
Okay, anyway, so how did you guys meet?
We've kind of told this a little bit, haven't we?
We've talked about this before, but I want to clarify actually the story because I've seen some stuff online that's not true. But basically, me and Landon first met now 4 years ago.
Something like that.
4
Yeah,
years
3.5.
ago. Landon messaged me. He DM'd me on Instagram, and he DM'd me a book that I should read. But then I was
And I captured something just now. He was looking down. Looking down is like being like introverted and stuff, and it's okay to be like that. But as she was saying about how he texted her on Instagram, it's like when he looks down, I just feel like he's hiding something, or is like not proud that he did that, like he messaged her. So yeah, I'm really not sure. And you can see his eyes are already not on her, so he's like distracted or not engaged.
was getting into my previous relationship, so we did message like back and forth.
Pretty much, one day I opened my Instagram, and this is when, I guess they still do it now, but you would get like recommended posts, and I think Liz's content was just starting to blow up, and so I got a recommended post about her account, and I saw her, and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, there's something special about this person. I don't know what it is. She obviously you're.
I want to emphasize that if he says that she's special, and as you can see in the caption saying that you're so beautiful to her, I think this is what it means by a guy that loves to shower you excessively with compliments. And I think it's one of the symptoms of like narcissism. And I think like if you're so in love with someone, you always want to be like this. But I find it really odd that he would say the same compliment like all the time. Then just now he claims she's special just based on what he saw. And I honestly think it's like lust. Like, I mean, I don't understand how you would say that someone's special when you haven't met that so-called special person in real life. Like, I think it is like a bit of a stretch. Like, you have to meet someone and then like tell that to that person, and I kind of feel like this is kind of fake, because I mean maybe he's just very enthusiastic about her, but like based on a post, I don't think you can really tell someone that this person is special. Like, for me, it's just not adding up. Like, if a guy ever like calls me anything like beautiful, special, like, okay, that's cool, but like it's not needed.
You're so beautiful, but there was something deeper, and so I was like, I'm gonna send her a message. What should I say? And then I realized like I just want to add value. Like, maybe there's something I could like put you on, and so I sent her a book recommendation for a book called The Master Key System.
So he says he wants to add value, and that's what every guy should do to his female partner, but put her on what? And then now he's trying to recommend her a book,
Which is the best book I've ever read. So I highly recommend it.
I remember I looked at his picture.
and then he sends her a book through that Instagram message. I was thinking it's like funny, like I think it's very sudden he did that, because when you wanna get to know someone like, for the first message, and then you send this person a book, I don't really understand, because it just, I'm sorry, it's just very sudden, and like I don't really know where he's coming from for this book. Maybe this book is good, but like I don't know.
Pictures, and you really didn't look how you look right now. Like, you were, I just thought, oh, he's so cute, he looks so nerdy, you know, like.
I think I look older now.
Yeah, I'm kind of keeping it together. Like, I'm trying to not to like lose my mind, because usually I don't like anything to do with love and relationships, or even watching this. Like, I don't feel comfortable like being in love, and I have fallen in love, yes, but like it's not like really real because I'm not married, I'm not in a relationship, but I'm trying to keep it together. And then okay, but to the video, she say like you're not how you look, and that's like normal because people look different on social media and in real life. And it kind of makes me feel like, you know, if you say this to him, like it doesn't sound like genuine. It just sounds like, oh, like I'm settling with you, but I didn't expect this is how you are going to turn out to be. And it's a bit of an ouch. Like I can feel that about someone. Like it's kind of like making us feel like, hey, like this isn't your type, Liz. So
I'm a nerd though. Like I'm a nerdy look.
Yeah, but no, now I feel like you've evolved a little bit.
Upper nerd.
Upper nerd.
Upper nerd. Okay.
Yeah, when I saw those pictures, I was like, oh, he looks cute. But obviously, I didn't think anything of it. We just talked a little, and that was it. I got into my relationship. You also got into a relationship then. So
Yeah.
we were both like just living our lives. And
But in my head, I like adored you, to be honest. Like every time that you would send me a message, I got just uniquely excited.
okay, so there's always this phrase, there's always another girl, or like men love to cheat and stuff. He kind of put himself out there because he said that he's in a relationship and she was, but then in his mind he's entertaining her, the idea of her, while he was with someone else. So it's like, okay, you really like called yourself out there, and like it's just like, if you really like that girl, I don't think you're here like to go boast about it to your now girl. And I don't know, it just feels really, really off to even say this to her because, like, you know, uniquely excited and everything, like you can be like adoring her. It's kind of giving fanboy vibes because like you really just told her like, hey, this is what I feel about you at this point, and you're calling back. So I think, yeah, you know, when I was on Threads, I read that a person said like, yeah, I mean, he was her fanboy because I mean, look at how he talks, look at how he, you know, like really wants to really contribute to her life. So
And also it'll tie into the story, but the first time you ever sent me a voice message, I remember I was in the LA airport trying to fly home to Dallas, and I got a voice message from you, and that like really stuck with me, and I always thought about you in airports for some reason. So
Yeah.
anyways, go ahead.
well, so fast forward, then 3 years later, I went on a trip with my friend, and we were going to Santorini. And this was such a last-minute trip. Like, I was like, let's just go. I finally want to go out. Like, I want to just really live my life. And I had booked so last minute that we had a stop in Athens because normally it was directly to Santorini. We weren't meant to stop in Athens. And the thing I want to clarify, because a lot of people think that you stalked me.
Which is crazy, by the way. We just got engaged and Liz posted that video. There were some comments that were like, I think this guy is like an upper stalker.
I want to say how I think about the world. When someone tells you of like something like a fact, and when other people like contribute to that fact, like you're not the only one thinking this, like, oh, other people have said this, I think it really is true. Like I know like things you can't really like just immediately like agree, or like you can't immediately like believe, but then if a lot of people have said this, then it is definitely a fact. Because like as I was on Threads, as I watched random videos that happened on my YouTube feed, and it was just telling me how he really is indeed a stalker. And as much as I saw that he really did like, you know, find her at the airport there, I was like, I couldn't be bothered still. But I really think it is true because like a lot of people have said this, and then like, you know, that like he's got exposed as like a cheater for just, you know, this guy went to, you know, like cause Liz was like 4 months pregnant or something, this guy went to open a Snapchat and then like try to get this girl, a new girl or something, and he rejected her, and then like eventually Liz found out through like a girl, or like, you know, and then she just like, you know, kind of like exposed like Landon and stuff. But like, I mean, because, you know, she's like saying like, oh, like this guy is him, is like an upper stalker, and let's just see how she reacts to this.
He like knew where she was
no
gonna
way.
be.
My friend does not have social media. Like, she doesn't have Instagram, and I never ever post my location for safety reasons. Never ever. I will only post even the background where you can recognize something when I've already left. There's crazy people out there, you know. So no way he could have known I'm in Athens, and especially there. So the crazy part is, me and my friend, we completely walked through this airport. We got like 2 cookies, and we sat somewhere where we weren't supposed to sit at all. It was not our gate. It was just this random place.
Let me just tell you what he's doing with his fingers like that. It's like contemplating and thinking and feeling, and he is not comfortable at all. He's like recalling back, and he's kind of smiling there. He's like, he's hiding the fact that he really did stalk her based on his body language.
This whole story is just so crazy.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then we sat there. I had like a mask on and a cap, okay? No one recognized me. No one could recognize me.
And then she's like kind of freaking out about like stating the fact that, oh, no one can recognize me and stuff. He's just there and looking up, and like, I think he's thinking and he's contemplating something, and then he keeps smiling, and like, I mean, it's not literal smile, but he's like there, and I have no idea what he's thinking, contemplating about, but it is a very suspicious behavior that he's kind of like putting it to me, because like, you know, if your partner is in distress, and you know, and clearly like, I think she's kind of justifying that, oh no, like Landon is a good person, he wouldn't do this to me, but like, she's just there. So
we were gonna get up. We were sitting there 5 minutes, get up and go to our gate because we had our flight. And then all of a sudden, like,
this big upper nerd walks up.
Like, Landon walked by, and I guess you saw me.
Yeah, I saw you from like, I guess, hold on, before you give like the key moment. So like, from my POV, like, yeah, I was dealing with, before I met Liz, I was in a relationship that was just so difficult for me. I had this attachment that I had such a hard time like really growing through and away from, and I was just kind of following this path that led me into Ibiza last summer, and I ended up meeting some people.
So then, as I really don't care about relationships, but as my threads are always filled with relationship posts and stuff, or like videos that I just randomly watch, because I don't know why algorithm loves to give me these videos where I don't really care, but because it's like shown to me a lot, I'm like, I have to just watch this because I'm like bored and I have nothing else to watch. So like, when people say like, you know, a guy talking about his ex-partners is like not good, or maybe I'm kind of projecting that, like, I mean, I would feel off, because like, if I was Liz and you are like my husband, because that's clearly what wizardliz says in the video, and then you talk about your ex-partner and how you have like attachment issues and you can't really let go or something, or along that line, I just feel like it would hurt me if I was her, because like, you shouldn't like say this when you are already like committed to this person. And I don't know where this is going in his head. I don't understand the inner workings of his head, but like, I just feel like it's something that like makes me feel like, because TikTok also gives me like a lot of like good information and about like my street's destiny chart. He's like, it's just saying like how he still is hung up about the past, and I think the past year is his ex, and I feel like there's a baggage there that he's saying to the camera and us, like, but yeah, I don't think this is a good sign.
People that I was going to go to Mykonos with, so it was like an Ibiza trip for 2 weeks and then a Mykonos trip, And the people that I was staying with ended up trying to scam me a couple times. They successfully scammed like $20-something thousand. And whenever I landed in Athens, which is where I was connecting to go to Mykonos, that whole trip got canceled. Like that part of it did. And so I was just sitting there and thinking, oh man, what the heck? Why is this happening? Like, God, I try to be a nice person. I believe you get what you give. So like, why is this happening to me? And I was like, you know what? Time to end my trip, go back to America. I went to go get my bags off the plane so they didn't go to Mykonos without me. And I realized I had left my backpack in a gate in airport security. And so I was like, wait, I really need that. I never lose this bag. So I went to go get my backpack. In that moment, I do remember feeling like I was being led in some way. Like there was just some path that I was supposed to walk down and follow. I didn't know why. I knew.
I don't understand why he's over-explaining himself. Clearly, when even like Liz has said her facts right about how they met at the airport, it just seems like a long-winded explanation that he's trying to tell us, and like some magical fairy tale thing he's telling us, like like this path led me to her. I think that's where he's trying to say. I think this is not really like a safe guy to be around.
I knew my bag was going to be right where I thought it was. I turned the corner, I get my bag. I remember I took a picture of it. It was like 4:30 p.m. I was like, oh, well, it's there. Okay, time to go home. I get my bag. I start walking to leave the airport. And as I'm walking, I try to be observant, but I'm like looking around, and then I walked a step and I felt like I entered just like a new dimension. Not to sound crazy, but I took a step forward and I felt like I walked through a veil almost. And then immediately I sensed that I need to look up right over here, and I look up and I see Liz sitting. She has a hat on. She had like a mask basically covering her face. She was eating food, so like I can't even...
Yeah, I mean, like, she already didn't tell her location. She, I think, if I remember correctly from Thresh, she was wearing something that would cover her face so no one would recognize her. And then he's like, oh, Liz is there. Yeah, I mean, clearly this guy stalked her, because there's like no way like two people can just, connecting flights or flights. Like, I don't really think it's possible. Like, I mean, him leaving the bag over there is kind of hilarious, but like, yeah, you forgot it, but like, okay. And then now, like, you're trying to be like,
I really see her. She's sitting by her friend, and I thought, oh my God, that's Liz. And I recognized you. I had no idea. Like, I had never seen you before.
And I remember he was like, Liz, and I look up, and guys, before I even recognized him, because he didn't look like how I remember 2 years ago, and I vaguely watched like one picture, so I didn't even know what you really
Did you
looked
watch
like.
any of my videos back in the day?
No, never, no.
Okay.
And so I saw him, and before I even recognized him, I go like, Landon? And I was like, huh? How did I even say that?
Yeah.
And it's so weird. So he went to sit next to me, and he was like explaining everything that had happened. But I remember like when we were talking, I felt such an energy come over me. Like I literally explained to my friend, I felt like everything in the airport just stopped and we were the only ones there. And I remember thinking,
I had the same. I was overwhelmed by that feeling.
Too.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking, like, also, why does he look like me? That's the first thought I had. I think I told you that. I'm like, you kind of look like me. So I was like, what is this? And I'm very...
It's like looking like me, and they both look like each other. It's like, okay, you guys can recognize each other by the similarities of your looks, but, it's, I think her powerful words have like a way of speaking truth, and I think her words are powerful about how he views him, which I understand, because she looks like she's really in love with him, and I think like it's like understandable, and like she has his baby, but like, yeah, I think it's like they both are like very into like fairy tale like stories or something. Like I feel like this, both of them are like creating a fairy tale to each other, and it's like it's cool because like when you see it like from the outside, it's like, oh, these two are like so-called perfect with each other, but then when you look deeper, it's really not like that. And yeah, words are very powerful. The way it came across to me, it's a very strong feeling that she has for him.
Very feeling based person, so I feel a lot of things, and I've never felt like something come over me like this. And yeah, like, do you want to come to Santorini with us?
It was like the very end of the conversation too, because I was just telling her what I was going through, and I was like, hey, sorry to just throw this on you, but I'm going back to America.
Bad. I felt so bad. Those people scammed you, and I was so sad.
I did say though, like, I'm not saying this so you feel bad for me. Like, I was just telling you what I was going through, and like as soon as I'm about to get up to leave, Liz was like, well, do you want to come to Santorini with us? And I was like, really? Are you sure?
Yeah, and then he was like, let me think about it. Like, he said, I don't know if you said yes.
No, I didn't. I said, give me a second. Like, maybe.
Like,
yeah, it could be fun.
I'll text you.
Okay, I feel like I'll think about it. It's like a girl's kind of response. I was watching Share 7, and it says like, oh, you're managing on you, and then you have to like get him like back into your like league, and like I'll think about it, so he like gets to like provide for you. I think it's a pretty feminine way how he said like, I'll think about it, and then now he's like looking away, looking down. It's like, Landon, I just don't feel like you are like here because you really want to be there. Like, like you're just somewhere else. Like, I think like he's really uncomfortable. I don't know if he's like not in the mood, or like he's stressed, or he really wants out the conversation. Like I think this whole video, maybe he's not comfortable doing this video at all, because this vibes he always gives me, it's like giving me like, I just want to leave this conversation or this place.
And he walked away. I told my friend, oh my god, I hope he comes. Also the way you just looked, I like that.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
And then, I remember we're texting, and then eventually, he came to Santorini. You arrived like 2 hours later.
We're like really obsessed with each other, but I just feel like Liz loves him more, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe like in a couple, there's always one person that loves each other more, but I think from here, I just sense the vibe from him is not good, and that's why I'm doing this video, because I feel like the energy I picked up from him, which isn't visibly in this video, it was reflected to me because I have extra sensitive perception. I had this vision where he was like literally going to like hit someone, or like, like all the times that away he is in this video, like the energy he's giving off, like, I'm bothered, understood, I just want to leave, I'm staring up because I want to think about something else. And I have no idea if he's really clearly abusive, like physically, but I mean, even like if your partner behaves this way, you probably feel emotionally really off, and I feel like this is some kind of abuse going on, or maybe this is not a good match for both of them. So I really don't really know, but his behavior is very concerning to me. My Wi-Fi is lagging too.
My friend, and yeah, we actually had a blast. I have to say, guys, he was so weird and awkward in Santorini. We'd all go out.
Come on.
And he would be like playing chess on his phone.
Okay, no, because I don't like going out, right? Like, I'm a very introverted person. I'm
also introverted, but I was like, this trip is for going out.
Yeah, Liz was in I'm trying to have fun mode. Yeah. I was just in, I don't know, like from my POV, whenever you invited me, I honestly, I called my best friend, and I was like, dude, this crazy thing just happened. I told him the situation, and he's like, well, you're gonna go, right? And I was like, I guess, I'm gonna go. And the whole, like, the first day, I remember thinking, there was a moment where I was wanting to have more friends that were like-minded, more people in my life that are interested in manifestation and aware of energies and all of this. And so in my head, like, Liz was that person, and I wanted to just be friends with you, to be honest. And I told you that right away. I was like, hey, I'm trying to be, like, I want to be friends.
Yeah.
And then
I was definitely not going to be friends.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. But no, within like 24 hours, I realized because Liz, you know, you and I, we had a good first night, like getting to know each other, and then the next day we went and explored the island, and we like got some of your merch stuff set up, and we had this moment where we went and we got French fries at like a kebab place, and we're just talking.
And I think the one thing that I loved about you the most was I felt like for the first time I had someone that was actually adding value to me as well in the things that I knew, because oftentimes like in a relationship I've always felt like I'm teaching my partner something, but there's like nothing really get like back. Like I think very deeply about the world, and you think the same way.
But then after that I had this overwhelming sensation. It was like, you know, you would say it's like a voice in your head, but I had this overwhelming sense that I was going to marry you, and that you were like the answer to my prayer.
So again, this fairy tale theme romance, like wanting to marry that person when you just met a person, is giving like Elsa and Anna. It's like Elsa saying to Anna, you can't marry a person you just met. I feel like yeah, I mean, I do agree and I understand now how like someone was saying like he like is very feminine, and I think when I say feminine here is like you have this idea of thinking like a girl, because like I don't know, like I think it takes time for people to really want to get married, but he seems going really fast, so
in so many ways, and you're literally like, I feel like I manifested you, and I was sitting thinking, oh my god, I feel like I manifested you. And then from that moment,
that was one of the,
you know, about manifestation, it's never good to manifest someone, and based on what you say, but in this fairy tale only manifest a person, you know, things aren't gonna be good if you really want to manifest someone because you already have her, and then if you keep thinking about ideas about this person, and obviously you are obsessed with Liz, but like the thing is, like that's why it doesn't go well, because you know it's not good to really manifest someone. Also, like, you know, answers to my prayers, like I get that you want to believe that she's the one, but like it's kind of like flattery, and it's not like, you know, an actual thing. I know that she says that he is her husband, but I just feel like, you know, there was this drama where Landon was saying like the relationship was fake and everything like that, but I'm siding Liz because clearly we all know she's very in love with him, the way she looks at him, but like you can't just dismiss all her feelings and say that it is fake, because clearly she mentioned you as her husband. So I think it's really important to kind of like see that this man is all about words and not really about actions. Like, doesn't seem trustworthy. Like he already like wants to be out of like, you know, probably this marriage or relationship that they have.
The questions as well, by the way, do you guys think you manifested each other? I really think I did that. Like, even because I don't have that book with me, it's probably in the US right now. Like, when I get there, I'll show you what I wrote down. So similar. I actually got scared of my own abilities to manifest.
Yeah, well, I said this in a live stream my buddy Cody was doing, that before, you know, a little bit before we had met in person, I was dealing with this relationship, and I said out loud, you know, at the end of the day, whatever I'm dealing with is okay, because there are still girls like the Wizard Liz out there. And in my head, you know, over the time that
girls like Wizard Liz, at this point, I don't know if you're a manifesting person or you're just trying to create more of her that you can fall in love with, and basically like an idea of this person to fall in love with. Like, this isn't really true. Like, if you really appreciate this person, you wouldn't say like this person, like Wizard Liz. I think it's a bit distorted.
From the time I met you and then watched you become successful, I felt I related with you and the things that you were saying. Like, in my head, you were always such an ideal partner,
Yeah, I get that. This confirms clearly that he is a fanboy of her, because he watched her ever since her first video, or like before she grew up to be like successful, and he just like thinks she's perfect. And yeah, I think it's kind of like dangerous. Like if you are a normal person like who's doing really successful and from you do, like it kind of gives off this like suckerish vibe, like, you know what I mean, like, cause like you gotta be with someone that you really really wanted, and then the evidence from just now doesn't add up. So I feel like the situation is kind of like getting more and more into like fantasies and not like in reality, unless they're kind of creating this image to us that, oh, this is like a fairy tale because like of how much they praise each other and be very affectionate with each other, and how like he idolizes her, and you know, it's like, but I'm glad like Liz had this like apprehension, like, you know, I'm kind of nervous because I did manifest you, but like it seems now like he's kind of like taking over her, and it's like, yeah, you know, this is, you are all I wanted or something. So
woman, ideal wife, and so yeah, I don't think I like consciously sat in a dark room and meditated like, I'm gonna manifest the wizard Liz. You said I was weird during the Santorini trip. Yeah. I just want to clarify. Imagine God hits you in the face with the answer to your prayers, and it's so just abundantly clear that this is it. Like, this is the thing. I don't know, for me, I'm a bit of an overthinker, so I was sitting there just like thinking, oh my God, I have this feeling, like, how can I do this right? So a clear learning, a takeaway, a lesson I've got from this relationship is that God blesses those who seek and honor his blessing. So if you're
I
at
think
home,
when he says what I learned from relationship, it's giving, this is what I learned and I'm going to leave. And yeah, because I think it's a bit absurd how he's like, what I learned, but like, yeah, he's going to say what he's going to say, like,
home and you're going through a hard time, and then, you know, you start praying for something. God is not going to give you what you want, he's going to give you what you need. And in that, if you recognize, oh man, hey, there is something going on here, God is helping me out.
Yeah.
If you honor those opportunities and those moments to grow, I think that's the secret to making your life get better so quick.
Yeah, I also want to add to that. If you, for example, want to manifest something, and then that thing is right in front of you, you have to take that opportunity. Because, for example, imagine I saw Landon and I thought like, oh my God, like I feel all these things right now, but I didn't invite him to Santorini. I didn't listen to that voice in my head. This would have never happened. But still, it was what I wanted. But I could have still had the free will to choose to not do that. So you always have to be clear, like when it arrives, you have to know and feel like, is this the right thing?
It's like a mix of putting yourself on the right path and having that intention, because your intention really does create your reality.
Yeah.
Combined with getting out of your own way.
Yeah.
And that's like that's something you just have to experience to really learn how to do, and I think we're still learning how to do it every day.
What is the hardest part of marriage life? You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I think the hardest part of marriage, two things that come to mind. As I said at the beginning, you have to learn how to grow with somebody. And no couple is 100% compatible. There's a story I heard from Steve Jobs early in the day. Early in his life, he had a mentor that took him to some garage and put these really sharp and rugged rocks into this rock machine. It's a rock polisher. And the guy takes these rocks, he throws them in, he puts the lid on, he turns the machine on, and then for 72 hours, there's this loud, rugged banging, and the rocks are slamming against each other, and it's a 72-hour process, where at the end of that process, you open the lid up, the machine turns off, and you see that these rocks are perfectly smooth, and they're smooth with each other, they're compatible. And so I think there's this notion of compatibility in relationships. Oh man, you gotta find the person you're 100% compatible with. It's true that you're gonna be more compatible with certain people naturally, but you have 90% in the right place, and then there's that 10 that you feel needs to be worked on. Like, that is the work that needs to be done in a good relationship. And that's the work that, you know, we've signed up for and that we're doing. And it's not always easy to do that work. Like, this is part of it. Like, yeah, we're gonna have,
I don't know what, 10%. If you're there for like 100% and you only like kind of make it up for 10%, it doesn't impress me. Like maybe it should be less than 1% at least. I don't know.
Arguments here and there. Yeah, you're gonna think I'm an idiot at times. Remembering that that's part of it is hard. But
yeah, I think for me, the hardest part about marriage is honestly living with someone, like especially a man.
Are you saying I'm hard to live with?
No, do this. The reason why
I don't know what was going on because he was already playing his water bottle, and then he kind of jokes on her like saying, "Are you sure I'm hard to live with?" or implying that. I don't know. This guy seems off to me.
I never wanted to get married was because I don't want like someone constantly around me. I love my alone space. I like really can connect with myself a lot when I am alone. So sometimes like even when we're living together, I really missed living alone because I was like, oh, I had my own space, could like get ready and then go on a date with you. It wasn't like getting ready in front of you. Like it was just so much space for myself. That's the hardest part for me, is wanting more alone space.
Then like the second I'm gone, you're like, oh my god, I miss you so
yeah,
much. Where
yeah,
are you?
Of course. I think also we both work from home. Normal couple goes to work, you know, and like 9 to 5, and then they see each other in the evening or something. But we see each other a lot. Like,
well, we're also homebodies too.
Yeah,
so like
we
Liz
don't
and I,
go really anywhere.
there was a question that like when you guys were submitting questions that came in and we saw it a bit early and we were joking because they were like, what's the perfect date? And like literally that same day we were thinking about going to get food, and what we ended up doing is just ordering food, and it's like, that's a great date for us, you know? We just sit with each other, eat good food.
At first, whole time I'm like, look, I really, also my biggest thing was when I got out of my previous relationship, I was like, oh, so it's done now for me because I'm not going on dates with anyone. So I really think that God like sent you right in front of me. That was the perfect thing because if it wasn't you, it would have been no one. I like going on dates with strangers.
Yeah. We were both talking about that when we first were dating, how we were like, yeah, we're never going on first dates again. Like, this is it.
Yeah, I just don't like imagine like constantly sitting with someone, listening and stuff, and then constantly dating. Like, I have friends that do that. They're constantly dating, and there's just, when they talk to me, I'm just like, that sounds like a nightmare to me. I told him, I was like, look, I'm very introverted. I don't really leave my house. And he's like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then we got together. He's like, whoa, Liz.
You really like to stay upper hermit.
But you're worse, though.
No, come on. No,
oh my God.
I try my best to get us to go outside and like say, okay.
Excuse me?
No, for real.
Excuse me?
On the record. I'm the one who says, let's go on dates. And she's like, oh, yeah, maybe.
No.
and then I drag us, and then it's a good time.
Never seen, because normally Aries are like adventurous. They go outside, they do all of that. But you, they miss that part. He's just like so like me. It's really crazy.
I really like doing things with purpose.
A store, for example.
Okay, she's always also saying again, like, you're just like me. Well, I mean, it's true that, you know, I've seen facts where a couple, you know, married couple or a very close couple living together, just to act the same, they start to talk the same, but you're just like me, like probably like seem like introverted. That's what they were telling each other, but she keeps saying that, so I feel like it's more like just like going back and forth each other, or like projecting that, hey, you know, you're just like me and I'm just like you, so it's like we're bonded in that way because we're the same. So this relationship is like, you know, it's giving like be the same forever, you know. But I think personally it just doesn't sit with me.
And it's so full. We both don't like that. Like, I really get so much sensory overload from too many people.
You can get a little claustrophobic.
Yeah.
But also it's a bit different if there's like people in there who know you, then you have to be a bit more aware of what's going on. Like, Liz and I have a good time going places when we're like incognito mode, low key, but There's no way you're going to say that I'm more of an upper hermit than you are.
Oh, you are.
Oh, okay.
But he still like goes out with his friends sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's where you win.
Yeah.
Because I only talk to my friends online.
Mm.
I'm an online existence. Have you ever argued about something very hard? How did it finish? Me and Landon, oh my god. Look guys, we spent 3 months in Switzerland together. Like a month ago, yeah. We were literally surrounded by nature. There was nothing there. And I couldn't take the car and go anywhere, so Landon had to always drive me if I wanted to go somewhere. But even if I want to go somewhere, there's nothing there. No food deliveries, only like fast food.
We were in a place in Switzerland that's it's extremely beautiful.
Yeah.
We were in a nice Airbnb for a while, but at the end of the day, the convenience factor of that place was just
bad.
It's hard when you're a entrepreneur, you're working every day, especially working on Sundays, to not be able to order food conveniently.
Sundays,
it's just something you gotta get used to.
Everything is closed. Nothing's open. So I was literally going crazy.
And you love to go, do nice shopping and get dressed up and do these things.
No, but like I told him, this is like an aquarium. We're stuck in an aquarium, and we were constantly together because I couldn't go anywhere, and we were like stuck. So naturally, we were.
And you can see he's really focused on himself with his hair, and also as always with this like positions, always with the fingers. And at one point of time, Liz did that too. Like she also like on her face. So I think they're like kind of like copying each other. But like the only thing that's constant is Landon, because like he's just at a camera, like, and he's not like seeing her when she's talking. So
constantly also arguing about like the stupidest things though. Or did we argue about like crazy things? Let's think.
I think we've definitely, this is part of the work I was talking about earlier, like, we definitely butt heads at times on things that we should be talking through and figuring out together, and that's it. Like
his mood swings. He has mood swings.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy mood swings.
Okay, you want to be this real? And we're gonna start airing each other out? Really? Okay, so Liz.
Like he's so embarrassed with himself having mood swings, like, but it's more like kind of like flying away, like being flighty. So
she loves mischief and chaos a little bit. Like if she's a little too so if Liz is a little too isn't super exciting or whatever, she's gonna like come up to me randomly and then say, even if I'm sleeping, and then say something just to get like energy, basically, like just to get something going, to get that dopamine.
I say something just to poke at him.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's really nice. Like there was that one time you woke me up on the plane, and you're like, babe, wake up. And I was like, and you're like, I just made tea, and I was like, really? Yeah, for me, I made tea. I was like, great. But other times, it's like, I think one of the most beautiful things about Liz is she is such a butterfly in the sense that she's really tapped into her emotions and she's free flowing. But sometimes in that she'll feel something and then like say it to me.
I genuinely say everything I think.
Yeah.
And that has been issues in this relationship as well. I say everything I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was always like, Liz, sometimes it's okay to lie.
Well, no, you just gotta be tactful. I think
I know.
You gotta like think about where this is going.
I know.
Like one morning she woke me up and she's like,
he keeps playing with his like here and the fingers, like to me it is not like giving a sign of like confidence. Like he just keeps playing with his hands and everything. I have no idea why he does this. It's been like the start of this video, and I don't know what's going on. He's like, what is he thinking about or something? But like I'm just saying, like don't really. I don't trust that he keeps doing that with himself. Like it's not really. And then it kind of gives off like, I kind of also like man kind of thing, like no offense, because I also do this, and I do like I'm attracted to girls also, and it's like it keeps doing that, like, but it's like a fixed like position, and I'm like, okay.
she's like, you need to wake up, it's 2 p.m. And I was like, okay, yeah, sorry, I told you I was gonna sleep in late, it's my Saturday, I gotta recharge. And she's like, oh, and by the way, it stinks in here. And I'm like, what?
Oh, no.
And she's like,
I mean, clearly now they are airing each other out because it's like, oh, it stinks in here. Like, okay, this is where you guys are hated, but no, it's just funny.
I walked in, I almost threw up because you're so stinky. And I was like, what? And I take offense, okay? Like, I don't want to be a stinky person. Am I a stinky person for the record?
You're not a stinky
Okay,
person.
like if I have body odor smell, ugh.
Lately, I've been smelling everything very hard.
And so she comes
Like,
in.
everywhere I go, I smell everything. So everyone has been getting it.
Anyway, she comes in, she's like, yeah, you're stinky. And I'm like, what? I'm just waking up. What? She's like, no, it's not you. Like, you don't smell like BO. You just have like a body smell right now that's stinky. I was like, what? And she's like, oh no, it's not that. It's actually, you just sleep with your mouth open. And so I'm like, what are you trying to?
Why are you saying that?
I'm just letting them know. You just love to get me like going, you know.
No, I just genuinely, that was a real concern. That was not to poke at you. It just, I smelled like too much. I smelled too much lately. I shouldn't smell too much.
I smell too much lately. That's okay.
What are some qualities you both admire about each other? You start.
I love that thing I said a moment ago. I love how you're like a butterfly. That's something I really admire because I'm the complete opposite. Like, I'm so in my head. There's this thing that you do that I specifically love. When Liz is happy, she'll like click her knees together, and she doesn't realize that she's doing it, but it's something that I see every time you do it, and I'm just like, I don't know, that's just something that I love about you. It's like, yeah.
Me clicking my knees.
I love how we can have deep conversations. I love how we're thinking about things that are really esoteric, like not super interesting for a lot of people. The list goes on. Like, how long do you want me to go about what I love about you?
Very long, but you can continue after this video.
I love your laugh. I love you're very beautiful, but that's not even at the top of the list for sure. You're so sweet.
Great. Okay, awkward now. Okay, so things I admire
You're
about...
funny. It's really funny. She is.
Okay, they are clearly like, at least you were saying each other, and yeah, it's the only part where it's all okay.
We're like convincing ourselves.
No,
I
was
don't know what
prepared.
convincing ourselves. Like, do you believe this is even real? So I don't know.
For a question, it was like, what is the most annoying thing about Liz? And I was gonna say, just how much I love you.
So, the thing I love most about you is how smart you are. I love your brain. And that sounds very weird and kind of ballistic. I just
Trying to
think
eat
that,
my brain.
you know, people that are in love with people's intelligence, sapiosexual. Yeah, that's me. And you're very kind, you're very, like, helpful with everyone. Like, if anyone needs help, it's like there immediately for his friends, family, everyone. I like that a lot. Very generous. You are sometimes funny, but I feel like I'm really funny and then you're just there.
I'm just the comedic relief.
You're like there.
Yeah. We should do more videos like this. I like that.
I think Sabina is very funny.
Sabina's funny.
Sabina is so funny. She's like serious funny.
You're just goofy.
What else? Oh, I love the way you look. Oh my god, guys, for the first time in my life, someone told me that my partner looks good. I'm not used to people telling me that my partner looks good at all, because I really don't go for looks in a partner. That's the least thing I ever have cared about. But I remember, like, when you dropped me off at my hair salon, and this was in the beginning of our relationship, and the woman, she went like, oh my god, she came to me, she's like, your boyfriend is very handsome. And I was sitting there, I was like, really? And then she was like, yeah.
She literally told me about, we got lunch afterwards. I
Yeah.
picked her up, we went and got lunch, and she's like, you won't believe it. I was like, what? She's like,
something crazy happened.
The craziest thing ever. Like, somebody just told me that you're handsome.
But
I realized that you're handsome now. I was like,
No, I knew you were handsome, but I always think that my partners are handsome.
Mm-hmm.
But no one else thinks that. So I was like, this is another case of that, you know? But no, this time other people were saying, oh, you know, very handsome. And I was like, whoa.
I don't think guys should be like obsessed with their looks and all of that. I think it's nice to be handsome, but it's more about for guys it's more about like being a provider, protecting.
His heart, if you need it for living, no.
If we had a child on the way, then yes, for sure.
You would not give me your heart.
For sure.
I would not want you to die.
Would you give me your heart?
Yeah. Probably, yeah. But I'm ready to die.
Shut up.
It's like, no, okay, yeah.
And like any
What?
I would give it to
No,
three
cut, no.
I'm like ready to go.
No, Liz is actually that type. She's like, if Sabina needed a kidney, she'd be like, how many do you need?
Do you want 2, 3?
Like
I can grow one right
I
now.
have 2 for you, but I can help you figure out how to get 3. Like,
we can get like one of Landon's as
when
well.
he's sleeping, we'll take one of his.
What's the age difference between the two of you?
That's another interesting thing. So, our age difference is 1 month. We have a 1 month gap. So we're very similar in a lot of ways, and we're also basically the same age.
I'm a Gemini, he's an Aries. It's a good combo. I can see why it's good. Because I feel like we both don't take things too seriously. Not that emotional.
I think, so Aries like structure. And like they like order and these sort of things, and we're high energy.
Yeah, I was seeing on the internet saying like wizardliz doesn't even have any proof that she's a Gemini, so it's like that person recording video is kind of doubting like her and like this love story that they have. Like, I think other people are also speculating like, is this really true, or she just set this up because she's losing views? And I have no like say about this because I only was here to analyze Landon. But clearly I just feel like they are just selling fantasy love and being obsessed with each other, and these two are like that with each other, which is striking for me because it's the first time I've ever seen a video where like someone is with their husband. I don't see anyone like doing this also on social media or anything. Like I'm not aware of that, but I just don't know how like where this relationship is going, because there were times where I felt like they were really similar to each other, and then there are times where I felt like they aren't, like they are more like kind of distant. Either Landon or like Liz would be the one that's like kind of distancing themselves a bit.
People, and Gemini are high energy people too.
We're both very impulsive.
I think it's a good mix because an Aries can kind of ground a Gemini.
Yeah.
By the way, when I first met Liz, something that really impressed me, like I'm not really big into star signs and astrology. I know a lot more about it now, but one thing that just blew my mind, bless you, bless you, bless you.
Thank you.
One thing that just blew my mind is she's able to meet somebody and then instantly within one sentence be like, oh, by the way, you're probably a Cancer, right? Or you're Pisces.
Oh yeah, I can guess now. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I love to study these things. Like, even if I don't fully believe in like that's really true or whatever, I think astrology is really interesting. I think the matrix chart is really interesting. I think numerology is really interesting. Like anything that I can teach myself about humans and how it can like correlate, I find that so interesting.
There's definitely a lot of correlations. I think people have to be careful because at times, like nobody can predict the future. Like,
of course.
Be careful not to oversubscribe to that stuff. Like if you see something on TikTok that says, hey, if you have this in your matrix, you're gonna be, like watch out for this person. They're gonna hit you in the head with a bat. It's like, probably not.
How to get rid of jealousy and possessiveness in a relationship. I'm not really a jealous person.
I mean, to be honest, for Magic's Destiny Child, no one's ever gonna hit you on the head. It's more like they only focus on like compatibilities and, you know, learning more about Arcana. So it's not just like no one's gonna get in danger. It's like you have this and you know who you're going to be paired with, or like who you know are incompatible with. So I think it's kind of over exaggerating himself right there.
I kind of am.
You are.
Yeah, naturally I'm more
And
of a...
very possessive.
To be
And
honest.
very controlling.
But you're my girl.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, bye.
To be honest, it's not the truth, and you're my girl, okay. The like he loves to take control. Like he's very like dominant. I just like in very unnecessary points where he is like shadowing her, like she's just up there, you know. I just feel that is how he talks back to her.
Yeah, he's very, very controlling. Anyone that has dated an Aries man, comment below, because you guys know how controlling.
Very, very... What does that look like to you, huh? Putting you on the spot. How am I very controlling?
It's just like, you know how, imagine I'm doing something and you don't agree. Then you'll go every possible way to make me not do that thing. Like, anything you can bully.
No, whoa. Don't say that. No, they're gonna think I'm like holding you hostage.
No.
Like he wants to deflect that he was put on the spot about his insecurities. I don't think this is necessary to put your part on the spot, but like still I feel like it's a bit of a like balance is like not there. Like I don't feel like it's all healthy. I feel like it's hard because he's very like emotional. He's like, I want to take control. Like, no, you can't say this, or like he's just if she says it, like she's like, he just wants to like not take it, you know.
Blink twice.
Like blink twice. Nah. Like okay, you're deflating, saying like, oh, I'm not holding you hostage kind of message, but then you say blink twice, like you are still putting her in hostage. Like you are really contradicting, sir. Please make up like your mind and how you're going to like not control her so badly.
No.
Red in the next
No. I guess there have been times where you want to.
I don't think she should wear it. I feel like if she's really out of here, it's like good for her because this is getting so like in danger. Like I think she is, and like I said before in previous videos, men are very harassing. Even if you say yes or no, there are crazy men out there who'd be like, she rejected me, I'm going to go after her. She didn't give me a number, even if I gave her my number, I'm going to go after her just because I'm very obsessed. But so you have to be careful about these men who are very obsessed and very controlling.
Last minute plans, and I'm like, whoa, this isn't what we talked about. Like, don't do this. But that's more of like, I think that's more of like a controlling for us sort of thing.
I often will say things to him just to say them, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and I was never gonna do that, but just to like make
this
him
is what I was talking
angry.
about at the beginning. This is it.
No, sometimes I just make you angry because I think that's hot, like a little angry.
Oh my
God!
God.
A lot of women do that.
Oh my goodness.
But then he gets actually angry, and then I'm like, wait a minute, now I also have to be actually angry. Because why are you so angry?
Now I had to get actually angry.
Yeah, I was like, now I have to match your anger. I thought this was a joke. This is a big issue with me, though. I think everything is unserious.
Yeah.
Everything is.
That's like the yin to the yang of you being a butterfly.
Yeah.
There have been times. Okay, so there have been times where we have had fights, and I'm just. Because I care about her so much, and I want the relationship to work, and I want to build a family. This vision of you and I being 80 years old at the head of a dinner table, we're looking at our kids and our kids' kids, and we're just happy.
No.
And
I
we
got
made
angry
it.
about this, by the way, guys. You know what he told me? When we were in Switzerland.
What did I say?
We were driving, and then I was like,
But
always talks about this 80
come
years old
on.
bullshit thing. And I'm like sitting there, and I was like, I'm a grandma. I'm gonna buy a castle, and it's gonna be filled with my cats and my kids, and
She
we're
has
gonna
a
be
vision
chilling.
of having 100 cats.
Yeah, and he's like,
I feel
yeah.
like visions are clashing, so where is this going, to be honest? I don't know what's going on.
you're gonna be like living in that castle, this and that. And I'm like, and where are you? And then he's like, I'm gonna be on the moon.
I said, I'm gonna go to space.
Why would my husband be in space?
She said,
flirting with some aliens.
no, we're
out
like,
there.
we're joking, okay? And
No,
we're talking
no,
about
that
this castle and all this, and I'm like,
that
yeah,
was
baby,
very serious.
I'm gonna get you that castle. And she's like, dead quiet for 5 seconds, and then she's like, and where are you gonna be? And I was joking. I was like, I'm gonna be in space.
Getting lap dances from some aliens
Whoa!
up there. I know what you're trying to do.
Exploring the
You're
solar
staying
system.
on Earth. I'm not in space,
my.
you're not in space.
And then I didn't even connect the dots. What
I
she's
was
talking
so
about, I get it now.
emotional that day.
She was so upset with me. I was like, baby, don't worry, I love you. If I'm gonna go to space, you're coming with me.
But you say, and you know, this is the issue. You're also very honest. I asked him
I
a
thought you were
question.
gonna say something else.
No, I asked him a question where like a woman just wants to hear like, oh, babe, something nice, but he'll say like very seriously.
It's just how my brain works.
Yeah,
like
very
I honestly,
honestly, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not what you should say right now. Like that's not.
yeah, it's not like Asperger's clinically, but I'm super logical. So if I'm thinking about something, and you ask me a question, I'm gonna give you the real answer.
Yeah.
It's helpful sometimes. You can ask me anything.
Yeah,
I know
at
it.
least I know how you really feel.
But
But I'm also very honest with how I feel. So I think you match me in that. A little bit of possessiveness and jealousy is healthy
Yeah.
because it's at the end of the day your partner, you know? I think when it's too much, you should really like learn that you don't own a person.
there's a difference between possessiveness and jealousy and like a healthy form
Yeah.
and just insecurity. And
Yeah.
your partner, if you have a relationship with somebody who's ever done something that makes you insecure, like that's something to pay attention to. And it's not a good partnership if the person is going to choose someone else over you. Like
Yeah.
that defeats the whole point. But forgiveness is a big thing. So
Yeah.
if you have ever had a trust issue come up, you got to learn how to forgive and work through that. Otherwise, that'll just turn into crippling insecurity that you suffer with.
Depends what the trust issue was. If the person
Yeah.
is like texting other people.
Yeah, well, there's different like degrees of severity for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, I think a lot of issues can be boiled down to, is this something I need to work on to fix?
And you know, she just looks at him and like opens her mouth like she's done with him talking and like explaining more about the issue. So I just feel like she's also a bit checked out of the relationship already because yeah, she knows this isn't going right or we're not really compatible as a couple. But this is where everybody was talking about because like Liz knew, like her intuition was like, okay, checked out. But the thing is, I just feel she's powerful because she's got an intuition, and we should never like dismiss our intuition. Like they were talking about just now, like we should never erase what makes us uncomfortable in a relationship. But then him saying like, you know, explaining about these things aren't really helping her stance.
Fix that will help my relationship, or is this something we need to work on?
Yeah.
And I think, you know, trauma, like from a past relationship, is actually something you're supposed to fix yourself before you enter a new relationship. And if you haven't done all of that work, it's not like you just got to stop working on it whenever you get in the new
I think
relationship.
sometimes you also
I
learn.
don't know. I just feel like okay, like he can talk, but he talks like a lot, and we don't really need to learn about trauma all of a sudden. No offense, but like really, I don't know. Like maybe he's very like open and all talkative, but I think it's like kind of place to voice that out. You know.
Learn during the relationship, you know.
Yeah, you learn
You
together.
grow with the person,
Yeah.
and you learn to.
Just like projecting because like clearly he keeps mentioning about the ex. I mean, just one time, but still like we all know that he has issues with attachment. So now he's like kind of saying like, oh, that we should not have anyone else to fix our trauma. So overall, like he wanted to be that Snapchat girl because he can't fix that he has attachment issues from the past, and like he wants to do that with the girl because deep inside it's like I'm not okay with my trauma from the past.
to fix these things.
Mhm.
Like for example, a lot of people that have been cheated on, they will learn to trust again when they're in a new relationship
In a
that is
healthy
healthy.
That applies to all insecurities too. Like one thing that, I guess just say it here without being asked, one thing you've definitely helped me with, I'm super quirky, and it's a blessing and a curse. Like I love how unique I am, but sometimes I try to temper it. But Liz has shown me through the time that we've been together, like, you love me, and you think that, you probably think I'm weirder than I actually am, at least in my head.
No.
Yeah, well, that's what I like to believe.
I think he's so amazing. Like, I literally admire you so much, really, and I think you're so amazing.
Thank you, baby.
He always has like this vision of like, I think a lot of men have that, of how to be a man, and especially online they teach you how to be a man, but that's not how you actually be a man.
So much of that is wrong.
The most
oh my
attractive thing in a man is a man that is just confident in himself, and that's in any person, to be honest, woman and man, that is just confident in himself, that shows up as whatever he wants to show up
A
as,
man
you
is
know?
constructive and creative in essence, and so you don't have to be this like full of testosterone meathead to be a great man. You have to be able to meet certain things, but
I always say this to my friends as well. They're like, how should I act to attract a guy like that or whatever? And I'm like, don't act, like show up as your authentic self, because then you will meet someone that is also their authentic self. You don't want to meet someone that is pretending to be someone else, you know? That's not a good vibration, so...
It's not sustainable either.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
I think that's good advice for everybody watching this. Like, there have been comments, and I appreciate these so much, to be honest, where people have seen, you know, the stuff we posted in our relationship, and, you know, people are praying for it, and we definitely appreciate that. But then there are people who are like, I want to know what she prayed so I can say the same thing. Or like, how do I get a relationship like this? Like, at the end of the day, it's a mix of focusing on yourself and doing the things that you know will put you in a better position in life, but then also having in mind that ideal partner so you know what to look for. And honestly, try to do the things, try to become the person that you would want to be with. And I think in almost every situation where somebody's actually done that, like, it works. You'll find somebody that recognizes that, appreciates your value, and
especially as a woman, like, don't wait for a man to buy you things. Buy yourself nice things, like, work on yourself. Also, please keep saying this, but I think people don't hear me. You're a woman, don't just date someone like a man or marry someone that has money and like fully rely on his money and have no financials of your own. If you have, for example, a wealthy partner or whatever, make sure you either start a business, invest in something, you have money in your account, because at the end of the day,
I don't know why he keeps doing his hair. I think he just enjoys that he like has the attention of like Liz and, you know, from the YouTube people, because I don't know why he keeps doing his hair. Like, is he nervous? He's trying to like attract somebody. This where this is coming from. Well, she is talking about how a woman should be like independent even if someone,
a lot can go wrong in a relationship. That is just the reality of things. People fall out of love, people fall in love with other people, like all these things can happen. So make sure that you always have yourself, no matter what. Like I always say, your partner should add to your life, but it shouldn't be your whole life. Someone said, what would you do if your husband left you or whatever? I would just continue with my life, you know. I still have my own life, I have my own finances. I don't need to be here, I want to be here. And that's the most important thing, especially for a woman. If you're gonna give that man children and all these things, make sure that you and your children are safe in a financial aspect, because a lot of people don't think about this, okay? They say like, oh no, that's crazy to think about, only love, love, love. Love will not buy you a mattress, okay? That costs money. So a lot of things cost money.
like he loves to love with her, and then like kind of like unstable there.
Don't stop yourself, your own inner development and your own spiritual development just because you get in a relationship that you're presently happy with. But I would say it's not a great message. It's honestly a toxic message. This thing I've seen people saying of like, oh, you can never trust a man. like never trust your husband, like he may just cheat on you, you never know. It's like at the end of the day, the man and the woman have to be trusting each other and taking that.
I think you should take that to yourself and learn, because Liz clearly said, like, I don't think Liz wants a guy who would text other girls because she thinks that's cheating, and he did exactly that when she is pregnant. So, like, men are in the lustful. They can go and like look at other girls, or they want to cheat. And I wouldn't really like want to say that no, I'm men cheat or something. Like, if a man cheats on you, then like that's how it has to be, because like you have to decide, oh, you want to leave him or not. But with a baby, it's like men just like feel a bit more like threat, and that's why like men tend to cheat more, because like when a woman's pregnant, like she cares about herself, she cares about her baby. But then I feel like men will then get jealous and be like, I can't handle like the fact of like she has this light that she can care, and then he gets insecure and then cheat. And I think that's where he was coming from, because he wants to just like text other girls because like he's like bored, or he likes the attention, like how he keeps doing his hair, or like, you know. And I don't think he's clearly like a very interested or engaged person. And I feel like, I mean, I'm really just glad that, you know, like Liz knows what happened, and then like, you know, and I just feel like Landon shouldn't even like really just be with her or something, because that like that's like no more trust. And that is a choice to be with Landon anyway if she wants to, but like I think that's a very deep betrayal, because like you say like that you want to be like this perfect, but like Landon, you clearly not, you know, showing what you're really talking about.
That is what builds a good relationship.
Yeah,
it is a foundation of trust. And so if both sides are like too edgy and thinking like, oh, I can't trust each other, like one another, then that won't work. Best for yourself, but not selfishly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when you still keep your own lives and you still have something, a purpose that you're working towards, it's just a nicer relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because
individual and mutual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one thing I wanted to add to the young girls watching this, pursue your
He looks down a lot and then suddenly smiles. I don't see any reason why a guy should look down so much when the girl is talking. Like, it just shows like, I think he's like thinking about something and feeling something that is not appropriate in this situation, because to understand why he has to do this.
Education, pursue your career, focus on that.
Oh yeah,
Don't
and
live
I
your
heard
life.
something click. I think he was playing something in front of him. Like, yeah, he's clearly like so checked out. At this point, I'm like, why are you even here? Like I don't know. It's like so distracted. Like, it's not really a good thing to do when you're around your partner.
Life centering around men, and I need to find a husband, and I need to find all of this right now, you know. Even if you're a little older and you feel like your culture is really pushing you to get married, people really glamorize this, but it's hard. Like, you have to live with that person, you know, to like learn to live together. Then that takes a lot of energy, and then if you're gonna raise children, that's gonna take a lot of energy. So, are you really prepared for it?
It's definitely a body of work.
Yeah. So,
one thing that just comes to mind, a good relationship is not indicated by the lack of fights. It's indicated by an ability to quickly return to baseline, which means to resolve conflict and see, you know, return to that loving frame.
What is both of you guys' love language?
You like, I think, a mix of all of them, to be honest.
Yeah. I love gift giving.
If I'm not wrong, he had that like eyebrow up it, like that shows a sign of discomfort. So not really sure what he's uncomfortable about, but the way he looks at her and being distracted in a way, it's not looking good for him either.
That's my love language for other people as well, and I love gift receiving.
You like quality time too. You definitely like gift giving. Yeah.
But honestly, not so much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And bought me some really expensive bags, and I was just at a point that he was like, "Oh, you want another one for your birthday?" I was like, "I really don't." Like, I just look at them and I'm like, "I know someone made that for $1,000, and you're paying like 30+ K for that. That's crazy."
Mm-hmm. We're kind of just at like another point in life on that. Yeah. Like, I want to get you crazy things, but I want them to be super unique.
I don't think I value that as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like before, when I used to not have that, I thought, "Oh, these things are cool," you know? And then when I have them now, I'm like, I don't care really, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think you should try to give somebody something that really only you could put together or figure out how to make, and that's like where sentimental value comes from.
Yeah.
And so for Liz, like early in the relationship, I was getting her really nice things because I love how you look in them, and also I want you to feel pretty and have nice things. But for your birthday this time around, I was thinking, what's something I could get you that is pretty unique? And so instead of spending like $100K on a bag or bags or whatever, jewelry, I was like, maybe I could figure out how to put an app together and give her that.
I was like so shocked, guys. What is your love language?
I like acts of service because I feel appreciated. I like quality time because I feel valued. And I'm not a big fan on receiving gifts. Like, that's really not it. Physical touch, I guess that's with quality time. Like, I love cuddling.
That's something like he taught me, because I don't like when people touch me at all. Even in my previous relationship, I didn't have intimacy. Really,
I think this is
want
your
that.
first real relationship, to be honest.
But yeah,
I don't like when he said that, because he's like, I'm not sure if this is a relationship, but I'm gonna tell you that this is your first relationship. I think it's a form of like dominance, and I don't know why he keeps saying unwarranted things. It's just like he just wants to like control a lot, which then if he's just so like angry, then he will resort to doing a lot of violent things, because that's what my extrasensory person told me. It's just something like this guy would like hit. So he thinks, I mean, it's just not really good, like at all.
But for me, like the relationship I had before that, I saw as like my first real relationship, because that was the first time I spent every day with a man. Our relationship was like really not like how it's supposed to be.
It wasn't
like
really
now
emotionally.
We're both emotionally very cold, so there was no kissing, there was no like hugging, there was not really nice words. It was more like a best friend type of relationship where you're just hanging out. And then with Landon,
It doesn't have a lot of depth.
There was not a lot of that.
It's not just, don't say it like that, because then it just sounds physical. It's actually about everything
Like
beneath
intimacy.
Intimacy is so important in a relationship.
Yeah. But I'm the kind of person, even when I grew up with my parents, we never hugged at home. I never even heard "I love you" or something from my parents. Like, first time I ever heard that from my mom was when I was like 14, and I told her I was getting a psychiatrist at school because, you know, what was happening at home, they caught wind of it and they were assigning me a psychiatrist. So, and then when I said that to her, that was the first time she looked at me.
He's laughing again because I don't get it. Again, because she's telling him something very distressing and significant to her, and he's just laughs. Like, I think it's kind of like psychopathic or something, because like he's so heartless, like, or he's so inappropriate in behavior and emotions, that I feel like he's very like unstable, like mentally. Like, he, like, to be alone with him, like I'm really gonna be so glad if she's really out and like not with him anymore, or like not all the time at least, because I don't think he's very like nice to laugh at what she's sharing. I don't know why he laughs at all. I don't know, nobody can explain to me, so I just don't know why he does this.
She's like, Liz, I love you. But she was probably just scared of what I was going to tell the psychiatrist. So then I was like, whoa, I never heard that before. So for me, that was very foreign. Like that vulnerability of telling each other how you feel and touching each other and like kissing and hugging. It was like really intimate for me.
You gave me side hugs for the first 6 months, pretty much. Yeah.
Even with my friends, they know I don't like that. The only time I like to hug someone is when my like followers come up and then I'm like, oh, that I love. For other people, no.
You know, it's really hard to be vulnerable with anybody, especially if you've been shown time and time again that vulnerability is something that gets you hurt. And so, intimacy is directly, a necessity of intimacy is vulnerability. And so, it's hard to do that. But I love you.
So I love you too. So you really taught me that.
I'm working on it.
Who said I love you first?
Oh my god, I told this creature, it was a creature.
Why is he calling her a creature? This is the one that strikes me out of all the things in the video. It's very absurd.
Creature. This thing over here.
I told this woman that I loved her within 36 hours of knowing her, and I literally told her.
I saw a video where the person said Landon is love bombing her because of what happened. So it says here that Landon told her I love you within 36 hours. Yeah, that's pretty too quick. Another trait of narcissism. I think this guy just loves to bring all the attention to himself and probably very, loves like a lot of supplies, new supplies, just to make himself feel good. Because I see that he lacks this authenticism to show love correctly, and people saying I love you it's just words. Like, you need to prove it through actions, and within 36 hours you tell someone you love them. But the truth is, I know people that I've read through stories online just saying this man has to give you actions. Like, you don't really need him to say words at all. Like, some men, they just always give you through actions, because that's what men are for. They are here to provide for you, and it's like the most important thing and the only thing a man should do. So saying I love you in 36 hours is a form of instability. Not saying he's a truly narcissist, maybe he is, but then these traits are adding up to how dangerous it can be, because dark traits, personality of all, I feel like it relates back to Landon, because there's a form of a lot of emotional distress that he keeps showing in subtle forms, like laughing when she's saying a lot of distressing things, or I think he really needs to kind of find himself to that he doesn't really also completely lose it in himself.
Told her within 36 hours, I was like, look, this is gonna sound like a lot, and I'm sorry, because I know it's weird, but I know I'm supposed to marry you, and that's weird as heck, but it's what it is.
And I was like,
yeah, I'm supposed to marry you. Okay, but you did it, but you had to be testing the girl, and obviously she didn't want you, so I'm not sure what's happening between Landon and Liz now, but I just feel like you shouldn't have done this. Maybe he will learn his lesson eventually, but cheaters always cheat, so it'll be a good story for him to kind of learn or laugh about it to himself.
I was like, great. Oh, another question was, when did you know you fell in love?
I don't know how to even say it. When did you know you fell in love?
I fell in love when I realized I was in love when I was back in my apartment. This is like, I think 1 month later of us meeting.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks.
Yeah, so
2 weeks.
you were in the US, I was back in my apartment, and then Landon had ordered me like 750 flowers, and like the security wouldn't let those flowers
They were
up.
so heavy.
Yeah, they were so heavy, and they literally like had to carry them in with like 5 men, and they were like in my living room. And I remember I was sitting there and I like kept looking at them during the day, and I was like, oh my god, I think I'm actually like in love. Like, this is the first time that I'm actually like feeling like, whoa, I'm excited for this. Yeah. That just made me happy, and I was like, wow, like I've not felt happy in a while.
Mission accomplished. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
You deserve that. You deserve more.
So when did you fall in love?
You
I told
deserve
you I was a mess.
more? What do you mean? He was so happy that he gave her everything, and then he said you deserve more. And according to what happened, what he did with the Snapchat girl, I'm like saying like, what more? Like, you literally just imposing that he's not even capable of giving her the, like, he's the type of person that's like, nothing is ever enough, and I hate that he used that on her, because like, she doesn't deserve more. All she needs is you, so I don't really get it.
That's like within literally 36 hours. I was just like, oh my god, I love this girl.
Do you think I'm really the same as who I am online, offline?
I think the person that you're becoming, you've never been before, and if this person's better.
Yeah, he didn't even answer that question. I just switched it to like, this person's better in a lot of ways. Like, he wants to transform her, and I think like, yeah, I mean, good job that you cheated on her. And then I was like, beforehand, he was like, I think you're already obviously contemplating to like hurt her emotionally. So this guy's a big egg, honestly.
Better in a lot of ways. You're a bit more shy than I would have expected.
I'm very shy.
Yeah, she is very shy. She likes her space. But no, you're funnier than I thought you would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fun. You're a fun girl.
Fun, yeah.
Fun gal. You adopt. Please adopt me.
Honestly, I want to adopt children.
Maybe one day.
Would you want to adopt?
Mm,
You want your own.
maybe if the time's right. I'd want to have our own kids first.
But honestly, if I have a castle and I have like 100 cats, I can adopt. Doesn't matter,
One baby for every cat.
Yeah. 100 children.
How many kids do you guys think Liz and I are gonna have? I think we're gonna have 5.
5.
Mhm.
I need to birth those.
I want to name one of them Euclid, and she hates this name. She thinks it's terrible.
It's a mathematician.
She said, Euclid Nickerson, give that kid a break.
Yeah.
That's why I know someone is the right person for me.
I just think like you kind of feel it.
Yeah, pray
And
about
also,
it.
you
Pray.
know it, and you also see it in their behavior,
Mhm.
how they act, how you feel around them. I work a lot with my intuition.
Mhm.
I know when something is not right for me.
Is it true that a man is willing to do anything for the right woman? Let me answer this. Yeah, I think when a man knows and he feels that in his heart that this person is the person for him, he's going to travel the world, go above and beyond to show you that. So if you're
Yeah, I don't think literally that this guy will travel the world for you. I mean, long distance to marriage, yes, but even if this person is right for you, every relationships aren't perfect. So, like I said, like, it's just convince people that fantasy is real, like fantasy, love, romance is real, but like, it's not all about that. And so yeah, I'm just saying like, it's not something like that's supposed to be all perfect. Like, even if a guy is interested in you, he's probably like having, maybe it needs time, or like you really wouldn't know. Like, life is so unpredictable, people are very unpredictable. Like, this person can be with you, this person can be with someone else, and after a while like they want to be back with you, so you can't really be sure about like about this guy 100%. Like, never really trust anyone, even especially a man, if that man is just so unpredictable. Like, anybody can just switch up like that. So that's what I'm just trying to say.
If you're in a relationship with a guy and you've been in a relationship for a long time and it's just like making you feel taken for granted, you ask him for something and he's just not there, then
it's not even about money. Like, some men
actions,
genuinely put no effort. I told him even like some women never get any flowers, and he's like, you can literally take flowers from a garden and give them if you don't have the money for it. There's literally guys who like at least go to work or get their girl a coffee, write something nice on it, that's so sweet, these things.
So two people can be very compatible and have that feeling of like they like each other, but maybe it's just not the right time either. Some people need to grow. I feel like God kept us apart in a lot of ways until we were ready to give this a shot, which is cool. When we have kids, I know that she's going to be speaking multiple languages to the kids, and I'm just going to learn with the kids.
That's the issue. They're going to know 5 languages.
I'll learn with them. I like to do math in my free time. How many languages do you know? Just English? I was like, yeah, no, English and math. And she's just like...
Yeah, math I don't understand. The math that you do, I don't understand.
But
I know numerology math.
no, but he's not an affectionate person, and I'm not being loved the way I want. Well, just let him know. Like, most problems can be made really simple. Just let him know, hey, I love you, I care about you, but I'm not getting what I need in this relationship, and make that clear. And if he's not willing to change it, then he doesn't love you fully. So then you have to be prepared to find somebody who does. Don't find them while you're still with that person, of course, but...
We didn't have a wedding yet. I know everyone is asking about that, and they want the wedding pictures.
We'll do one for like everybody, so they can see like your dress and all that.
I don't know.
How pretty you're gonna look. Maybe.
I never wanted a wedding in my life. I never wanted any of these things, so I don't know. I'm not really fond of that.
We just got engaged, and then we were both. Oh, and the way we got engaged is so funny. We didn't even say anything about that. Maybe another day. But we got engaged very quickly.
When I posted him on Instagram and my TikTok, just know I'm locked in. Like, there's no way I would have posted any man if I was doubting it or whatever. He comments like, oh, he's not good for her, he's this, he's that. He wasn't good for me. Best believe I would be talking about that. Probably in every video.
Yeah, but you had that realization, and then I realized I realized right away, I'm gonna marry this girl, this is it. You're the answer to my prayers. And so, yeah, we eloped.
And I just think another petition of good answer to my prayers. Like, I get that you guys wanna paint out you guys are perfect and stuff, but I think it's alright to be this way, but I think it's more like just telling us that love is like a fantasy, it's like a fairy tale. Love is a fairy tale. And it's good that they were observe each other, but I think the way Landon handled himself was pretty creepy and a high class, this very stable guy, I think, and let's just see what this would end.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Bye.
Bye.
Also, so everybody was on threads and be saying if I wizardliz can't find love with him, then what about myself and stuff. I honestly think everybody is different, and if it doesn't work out for you, there's other people out there, or if you're waiting for someone, it's okay to wait for that someone. I don't think things are always as they generally are, and I think it's important to also let yourself know that love exists for you in different ways, in yourself, in other people, and also just maybe the lessons you learn to make you be stronger in life. So I really hope you guys take care out there.